Let me ask you something. And I need you to be honest with yourself right now. Not with me, not with your friends, not with the version of yourself you perform for other people. Honest with yourself. When was the last time you looked in the mirror, not to fix your hair, not to adjust your collar, but actually looked yourself dead in the eyes and felt something like authority? When was the last time you walked into a room and people shifted, not because you were loud, not because you demanded it, but because something in your presence, something primal, something in the way you carried your frame said without a single word, "This man has done the work"? Can't remember? That's not a character flaw. That's not laziness. That's not a productivity problem that a morning routine app is going to fix. That is domestication. And today, right here, right now, that ends. My name is Dr. Aris Thorne, and this is Primal Unleashed. Welcome to the most important 20 minutes of your transformation. We built this channel on one unshakable truth. Modern life makes us soft. Primal movement makes us unbreakable. We don't just lift weight, we reclaim our nature. That is the Silverback standard, and every single thing I'm going to walk you through today is built on that foundation. Today's episode is a roadmap, not a motivational speech, not a highlight reel, a blueprint. 12 weeks, 3 phases, 1 complete transformation from a man living inside the comfortable cage of modern convenience to a man who commands his environment, his body, his circle, and his future. This is the Silverback Protocol. Whether you're brand new to Primal Unleashed or you've been watching for months and you're finally ready to commit, this episode is your official entry point into the troop. Stay with me through the full roadmap because the men who watch this to the end are not the same men who started it. Let's build. The domestication trap. Here's what nobody is saying out loud in 2026. We are living through the most physically comfortable era in human history, and it is destroying men. Think about what daily life actually looks like for most men right now. You wake up to an alarm on a device designed by engineers who spent millions of dollars studying how to keep your dopamine system hooked. You commute seated. You work seated. You eat food engineered in laboratories to override your body's satiety signals. You come home mentally exhausted, not physically spent, and you sit again in front of another screen until you fall into a sleep that isn't deep enough to recover anything real. And then you do it again, and again, and again. And the entire system, from your ergonomic chair to your on-demand entertainment to your grocery delivery, is constructed to ensure that you never, ever have to do anything hard. Now, I'm not here to villainize modern life entirely. Running water is good, medicine is good, but here's what the comfort economy never tells you. The male body is not designed for ease. It is designed for challenge. Every single hormonal, neurological, and psychological system inside you was built over hundreds of thousands of years to respond to resistance, to adversity, to physical demand. When those demands disappear, the systems don't upgrade, they atrophy. Your testosterone doesn't stay baseline when you stop challenging your body, it drops. Your dopamine receptors don't stay calibrated when every craving is instantly satisfied, they blunt. Your confidence doesn't hold when you stop proving things to yourself, it collapses inward. And the most dangerous part, it happens slowly, so slowly that most men mistake it for just getting older, just life, just how things are. That is the domestication trap. Not a dramatic single moment of surrender, 1,000 small defaults, 1,000 days of choosing comfort over capacity. The physical markers are visible: soft posture, declining strength, low energy that no amount of coffee addresses. But the mental markers run deeper. Indecisiveness, a creeping sense that other men are outpacing you, a quiet background anxiety that something important is being left undone. Sound familiar? Good. Awareness is the door. The Silverback Protocol is what's on the other side. Phase 1, the physical foundation. Weeks 1 through 4. This is where we rebuild the machine from the ground up. I want to be clear with you about something before we go further. The physical phase is not just about aesthetics. It is not about looking good for vacation photos. What we are engineering in phase 1 is a hormonal and neurological reset. We are rewiring how your body produces and uses the chemistry that drives masculine drive, clarity, and authority. That starts with compound movement, heavy, consistent, and progressive. The Silverback Protocol split is built on 4 non-negotiable pillars: squat, hinge, press, and pull. These 4 movement patterns activate the largest muscle groups in your body simultaneously. Squats and deadlifts don't just build legs and posterior chain. They are the single most powerful hormonal triggers available to a natural athlete. 3 days of structured compound lifting, 2 days of loaded carries, sled work, and primal conditioning, 2 days of active recovery with Zone 2 breath work. That is your week, every week for 12 weeks. Now let's talk about fuel, because the wrong nutrition strategy will cut your results in half before you even get to the gym. The ancestral approach to eating is not a trend, it is a return. Protein from high-quality animal sources forms the foundation. Grass-fed beef, eggs, organ meats when you can tolerate them, fatty fish. These are not just macros, they are micronutrient profiles that your cellular machinery specifically evolved to use. We eliminate the foods that are working against your biology: seed oils, ultra-processed carbohydrates, and anything engineered to override your natural fullness response. You will eat real food. You will eat enough of it to fuel the training, and you will eat in alignment with your chronobiology, meaning you stop forcing breakfast at 6 a.m. if your body isn't ready, and you stop eating within 3 hours of sleep. Survive the first 4 weeks. The body you were born to have begins to reemerge. Phase 2, the mental hardening.
Weeks 5 through 8. Your body is now changing, but something else is happening too, and this is the part most programs never address. As you get stronger, something in your psychology begins to shift. People notice, you notice, and with that comes pressure. Old friends get uncomfortable with your new discipline. Colleagues sense something different in how you carry yourself. Your own internal critic, the voice that has been running the Domesticated program for years, gets louder as it realizes it's losing ground. Phase 2 is where you develop the psychological architecture to handle all of it. The first principle of mental hardening in the Silverback Protocol is what we call frame integrity. Your psychological frame is the operating system behind every decision you make, every interaction you have, every challenge you face. A man with strong frame doesn't negotiate with his own commitment. He doesn't require external validation to continue. He holds the standard regardless of whether anyone around him approves. This is not arrogance. This is stability. Building frame integrity requires 2 things: identity-level journaling and deliberate discomfort exposure. Every morning, 5 minutes, you write not about what you did, but about who you are becoming. You describe yourself as the man on the other side of this protocol, present tense, first person, not as fantasy, as declaration. And every week you do one thing that your nervous system is actively trying to avoid: cold exposure, public speaking, a conversation you've been postponing, a weight you've been afraid to attempt. The discomfort is the curriculum. The second mental pillar is digital minimalism and attention reclamation. The modern attention economy has made most men cognitively fragile. Constant context switching between apps, notifications, and short-form content has literally restructured how the prefrontal cortex allocates focus. The result is an inability to do what every dominant man in history has required: sustained, focused, difficult work. The protocol is simple and brutal. No phone for the first 90 minutes of your day. No social media before midday. Designated deep work blocks of 90 to 120 minutes with 0 digital interruption. Within 3 weeks, your ability to concentrate on hard problems will begin to measurably recover. The work you are capable of, the thinking, the creating, the building, will expand dramatically. And then there's the plateau. Week 7, almost to the day. This is where the protocol breaks most men. The initial surge of progress, the strength gains, the visible body composition changes, the motivational high of starting something new, that wave crests and levels. The scale doesn't move for 5 days. A training session feels flat. The excitement is gone, and what remains is just the work itself. This is not a failure of the protocol. This is the protocol working. This is the exact moment it separates the men who are building a new identity from the men who are merely trying a new routine. Motivation gets you started. Discipline carries you through. The men who lack in at the plateau, who show up on day 49 with the same consistency they had on day 3, those are the men who graduate the Silverback Protocol, because they have proven something to themselves that no program, no coach, and no amount of external encouragement can give you. That their word to themselves means something. Phase 3, social authority and leadership. Weeks 9 through 12. This is where everything you built in your body and mind begins to radiate outward. Social authority is not something you perform. It is something you earn from yourself first, and then it becomes visible to everyone around you without any effort on your part. By the time you reach phase 3, your posture has changed because your structure has changed. Your eye contact is different because your internal state is different. The slight forward lean you carry into rooms, the quiet readiness in your body is not a technique. It is the natural expression of a man who has done the work. This phase focuses on 3 domains: professional acceleration, relational quality, and community leadership. In the professional arena, the Silverback principle is simple. Lead from the front, speak with precision, and let results carry your credibility. Men who have completed phase 1 and 2 show up to their professional environments differently. Decisions come faster. Presence in meetings commands the room without volume. The willingness to take uncomfortable positions and hold them earns the respect of the people around you far more than agreeableness ever did. In the relational domain, phase 3 is about selective elevation. As you rise, you naturally begin attracting a different quality of people, men who are also building, also committed, also operating at a higher standard. This is not accidental. High-quality individuals are drawn to other high-quality individuals. The troop you are joining through PrimalUnleash is exactly this network, a global circle of men who hold each other to the Silverback standard. At the same time, some relationships will reveal themselves as incompatible with who you are becoming. This is not a reason for cruelty, but it is a reason for honesty. Protect your environment. The 5 people closest to you are either fuel or drag. Choose accordingly. And in the leadership domain, the final piece of this roadmap, you begin to serve others. This might be the most counterintuitive aspect of the entire protocol, but the Silverback is not just the strongest animal in the troop. He is the protector. He is the standard setter. His authority is rooted not in domination for its own sake, but in the responsibility he carries for those under his watch. By week 12, you are not just a transformed man. You are a resource for the next man who is where you were on week 1. That is the call of the troop. That is how the Silverback standard scales, integration into the troop. Let me bring this home. 12 weeks is the beginning. Let me say that again, the beginning. The Silverback Protocol is not a finite challenge that you complete and then return to your previous life. It is a transition point, a threshold. The moment you cross it, there is no going back to the domesticated version of yourself. Not because it becomes impossible, but because you will no longer want to. The men who finish this roadmap don't talk about it the way people talk about completing a program. They talk about it the way people talk about a before and after. Not of their body, of their identity. Maintaining the dominant state requires 3 things going forward: continued progressive physical challenge, continued investment in your psychological framework, and consistent contribution to a community that holds the standard. The troop here on PrimalUnleash is that community. The comments, the community posts, the men who are 12 weeks ahead of you, the men who are 12 weeks behind you. This is the living ecosystem of the Silverback standard. Your next step is not complicated.
If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel.
Turn on notifications. The roadmap content continues. Every week, we go deeper into the mechanisms of this protocol. Nutrition deep cuts, training progressions, mental frameworks, leadership principles, and every video is built to make the next version of you more capable than the current one. Drop the word troop in the comments right now. That single word tells me and every man in this community that you received this message, that you understand the assignment, and that you are no longer a bystander. You are an operator now. I want to leave you with this. Somewhere inside you, underneath the commute, underneath the meeting notes, underneath the years of being told that comfort is the goal, there is a man who was built for more than this. Not metaphorically, biologically, structurally. Every system in your body is wired to rise when challenged, to lead when tested, to dominate when given the right conditions. You were not designed for the cage of modern convenience. You were designed for the Silverback standard. 12 weeks. That's all this takes to begin the proof. Not belief, not intention, proof. The roadmap is in front of you. The troop is assembled. The protocol is live. The only question left is whether you move or you watch someone else do it. This is Dr. Aris Thorne. This is Primal Unleashed. Go, reclaim your nature.